Shalom everyone, this is Elvin Israel from the Assembly of Sound Doctrine channel, AOSDCHANDLER. I would like to say hello to my subscribers and future subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm also one of the instructors at RPK-Resurrection, Prophecy, and Kingdom, where we concentrate on those three tenets. Tonight, we're going to unravel the mystery of the two witnesses. Now, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you know I have did this several times, but I haven't did a compacted version yet. Tonight is going to be time for the compacted version. So let's start. Now, Revelation 11, 1 and 2. We know that John is given to read like a rod. He's supposed to measure the city. He's not supposed to measure the court because it's given over to the Gentiles, and they're going to tread the city for a times and a half, or aka 42 months, 1,360 days, and etc. We know that this is a prophecy from the Messiah himself in Luke chapter 21, 20 through 24. Check that out. Read it and then come back to this video. Now, let's start at Revelation 11 and 3. And I will give power to my two witnesses. The word power isn't there. It's italicized, which meant that someone added it for clarity. So I'm going to read it without it. And I will give to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Sackcloth. That's meant for mourning. So they're doing this prophecy. They're mourning something. These are the two olive trees and the two lampstands standing before the God of the earth. Now we know this is imagery from Zechariah. In Zechariah around 3 and 4, these two olive trees that he saw represented Joshua as the high priest, as well as Zerubbabel as the officiating class. So it's pretty much sort of like it represents law and prophet. So that same imagery, it's not going to be exact, but it's going to be sort of that same imagery going on in the book of Revelation, as you see. But we also have the words lampstands. Now, people like to go outside of the book of Revelation to explain Revelation like I just did, but you really don't have to do that. Revelation itself is a standalone book. Not all the objects are in Revelation, but pretty much if you read Revelation and flow with it, you can see it stands alone. You don't really need the other books. So let's look at the lampstands. Revelation 1, verse 12. Then I turned to see the voice that spoke with me, and having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. Verse number 20. The mystery of the 7 stars which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands which you saw are the 7 churches. So we see that lampstands can represent churches. Churches, not a building like we have today, but a group of called out ones, aka churches, the way. Also, let's remember in Revelation 11, these lampstands are standing before the God of the earth. And we know the God of the earth is the God of heaven. So in the book of Revelation, we don't have to go out, Revelation 7 and 9. After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude, which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palm branches in their hands. There's so much to unearth there. First of all, they got palm branches in their hands. Once you go back to Leviticus, I think it's around 23, you find out they were supposed to have the palm branches during the Feast of Tabernacles. So this is a reference to them being or fulfilling tabernacles. But also, it was a great multitude that no one could number out of all nations. If you know anything about Torah, who was not supposed to get numbered out of all of the tribes? The priests. The priests were not supposed to get numbered. So just like the priests are not supposed to get numbered, these people right here are not to be numbered. No one could number. It's an allusion to the priest, the new priest after the order of Melchizedek. So we have two references about the two olive trees. One represented the priest and the other one pretty much represented the law. So now we got the priest right here that no one can number. Please catch up with me if y'all falling behind. Revelation 14:1. Then I looked, and behold, a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000. So you got both groups of Revelation 7 right there. You got the 144,000, which represented Israel. Then you had the mixed multitude, which represented everyone. So you got your two groups right there standing with the Lamb, standing with God before the throne. Once you read your Revelation 11, 5, and 6, I got to speed up because I got a limited amount of time. You see that they can make fire come out of their mouth. They have power to shut down the rain from heaven. They can turn water to blood. All of this is piggybacking off of our boy Elijah, aka the prophet, and Moses, aka the lawgiver. So once again, you have the allusion to two different offices. You got the ones who was in charge, and then you got the prophets. You got the law, you got the prophet. And Moses himself could be viewed like a king. Revelation 11:7. When they finish their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit will war against them, overcome them, and kill them. This was the two witnesses, right? Let's show you something in the book of Revelation. Revelation 13:1. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his head a blasphemous name. This is the beast coming out of the bottomless pit. Same chapter, 6 and 7. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those that dwell in heaven. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. See, he made war with the saints. Revelation 11:7. When they finish their testimony, the beast ascends out of the bottomless pit and will make war against them. Saints, two witnesses. Saints, two witnesses. Remember in Revelation 6, when those up under the 5th seal was under the altar, what did they say? How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on them who dwell on the earth? And a white robe was given to each of them, and said, wait a little while longer, until both the number of your fellow servants and their brethren would be killed as they were, was completed. Revelation 11:8. And their dead bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So now we got the place this was going to happen. The killing of the two witnesses was going to take place in Jerusalem. You got all the imagery coming, like from Revelation 11:11, which after the 3.5 days, the times and a half, you have the Lord in heaven telling them to come up after they receive their breath in them, aka it's going back to that Adam state when in Genesis chapter 2, when Adam received the breath of life and went into heaven. That's what's happening here in Revelation 11:11. They're getting ready to enter into heavenly Jerusalem now. He died prophesying on earth. The Lord gave them the spirit for them to enter into heavenly Jerusalem, where there is no iniquity. This is what's called the first resurrection. They went from death to life. This is your Revelation chapter 20. This is the millennial reign right here. This is what this is talking about. Revelation 21, what happens after the millennial reign? Judgment. What happens here in Revelation 11:13? It's time for judgment. And if you think that goes with Revelation 11:18 as well. This is what it says. The nations were angry, and your wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that you shall reward your servants, the prophets, and the saints. That's your two witnesses right there. Thank y'all for listening in. to the channel. I didn't have enough time to go back, stop it, and research all the things I'm saying.